Hey guys, welcome back to this video, and in this video I'm gonna talk about data structure in Python, and this might be a 2 or 3 part video. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the coding. Okay, so basically as you can see there are 5 data structure in Python, and these all are predefined data structure in Python. Okay, so the first thing that we need to discuss is what is data structure, and data structure is the combination of predefined data types in some specific way that makes them different from other kind of data structures. So the first data structure in our list is list. Now let's say if you want to save names of students in a class. So there are 2 ways that you can do is the first way would be to use a data structure, and the second way is a very traditional way. What you would do is A is equal to Gagan, B is equal to Rahul, and as you can see already, like this would be very lengthy, and you won't be able to write all the names like this, and you won't be able to remember whether I assigned Rahul to B or Gagan to A or things like that. So here we will use list. List is a combination. We also discussed list a little bit in the previous video. So list is a combination of values. For example, let's start with a simple example. A is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 3 comma 4. Okay, so this is a list, and let me just tell you some things about list. The first thing would be how would you extract a single element from a list? A 0, and here as you can see I extracted 1. So let me tell you about indexing in list, or basically in Python language. The indexing starts from 0. So this is at the 0th index, this is at the first index, this is second, and this is third. So that's why when I wrote 0 in square brackets, the answer was 1. Okay, now let's say I want to get to value 3. So I need to provide the index of that value, and it would be 3. And I provided the index as I told earlier, the index would be 0, 1, 2. So that's why I got my answer 3. Okay, the next thing would be slicing, or you can say indexing. So let's say what do you do if you want to get like first 2 numbers of this series? So you might remember the range function from previous videos where we had to provide like where we had to provide 1 comma 10. So it was the starting index and it was the ending index, and it was not inclusive. Here we need to do some similar thing, but it is different because instead of comma we need to use colon. So the starting index is this, and the ending index 0 and 1 and 2. The index would be 2, and as you can see the index, the end index is also exclusive. So that's why I got only 2 values, 1 and 2. If you want to start from 2, and you can go up to 4. So you got 3 and 4. Like we did in the range function, that there was a step size, here we also have a step size like 0 to 4, and let's say the step size is 2. So 1 and 3. Okay, okay, so what will you do if you want to reverse the order of the numbers? What you can do is -1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So as I told you earlier that the index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. So in Python, this is especially in Python, you can find it in Java or C++. The index is also starts, the index also starts like this: -1, -2, -3, -4. So l- when I left blank the starting index and the last index, and I just gave -1, so what it did that it took the value from this and then went backwards, because this is the step size, and the step size is -1, so it is going backward. Okay, so that's how you can like what do we say, uh, you can reverse the numbers in a list. Okay. Okay, so the next thing would be, okay, so the next thing that I want to tell you is that lists are mutable. When I say mutable, what I mean is that I can change the specific value of an index. For example, like I want to change this 2 to 5. So the index of this 2 is 1, and it is going to be like 5. Now, if I print A, it is going to be 1, 5, 3, 4. Also, I forgot one thing. If you want to save the reverse value, which we did like this, you need to assign them again, because this operation is not an in place operation. So you need to assign the value. Now, if you see 4, 3, 5, 1. Okay, so we change the values. Now the next thing would be to create multi-dimensional list. So you can create list inside a list. Let's see, a is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, then comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. And if I print a, as you can see, this is a multi-dimensional list because there are two lists inside a list. Okay, so you can also consider them as like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can consider them as matrix. Okay, so how would you slice this? So here you will use two square brackets. The first square bracket will be for number of rows, and the second square bracket will be for number of columns. So the first square bracket, like let's say you want to get this number, so the 0th index, because we want the 0th row and the 0th column. So the answer is 1. Let's say we want number 2. So the 0th row and the first column, which is 2. Let's say I want 5. So the first index, so the first column and the second row. So the answer is 6. Oh, sorry, second row. Second row is this. This is 0, 1. So 5. Now you can also get multiple values, like you can get 0 to 0 up to 2, and here you can see 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here it is telling that, like, first select both rows, this row and this row. So it selected first 1, 2, 3. It selected 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Then we told it to select the first value from that. So now this is a list and this is a list, so it selected the second value. That's why it is showing 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me just stop it. Similarly, you can access the 0th column, and you can also get values like 0 to 1, 0 to 2. Here you will get all the values. Okay, so there are also many functions that you can apply on a Python list. So let's see how you can find a function if you don't know what functions are there. As I work on multiple languages, so I always don't remember like every function. So in Python, this is a very great thing, especially in Jupyter Notebook. What you need to do is that you need to type the variable name that you need, and then you need to type dot, and then you need to press the tab button. And here you will see all the functions that you can run on the list. So the first function is append, and we are going to append a value to the list. So let's say I need to append 10, and now I will print. So it is telling me that it has appended 10. Okay, let's check another function. Let's say insert. So now you don't know what insert function does, or maybe you forgot. So what you need to do is just type question mark and then run the cell. So here you can see it insert object before index, and the syntax is index comma object. So what we need to do is we need to provide an index. Let's say I need to provide it at the 0th position, and I need to add 5. Now what will happen, that 5 will be added to the 0th position. Here you can see that 5 is added to the 0th position. Okay. Now I need you to run all the functions that you can check by just pressing the tab button, and you need to practice on all of these functions. And now I'm moving towards the second type of data structure, which is tuple. Okay, tuples are very easy. Like, tuples are literally very easy because tuples are list, but they are immutable. As I told you that lists are mutable and tuples are immutable. Let me just tell you what immutable means. And so let's say a is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and now you will see this is a tuple. Okay, so this is a tuple, and how can you check what is whether it is a tuple or not? You can check by using the type function. It is a tuple. So when I said that tuples are immutable, what I meant is that you can replace the whole tuple. Like, I can set the values 1 comma 2 comma 3, and now it will be replaced. But you can change the specific value. So let's say a is equal to 1, which is 2. Okay, but now you can change its value because tuple object does not support item assignment, which is it is immutable. Okay, and now if you check all the functions that tuple has, it has only two functions because you can't change anything in tuple after you declare it. So the first function would be count, and if you want to check the functionality of count, just use this return number of occurrences of values. Like, let's take an example. Okay, so let me just change it. 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 1 comma 4 33 comma 1. Okay, so this is our tuple, and now I need to count how many number of ones are there in this tuple. So it is showing me 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now I want to check how many 3 I have. So it is showing me 2. Let's check the another function in tuple which was there, and it is index. Now if you want to check what index does, just run the cell and return first index of the value. Okay, so which means, like, if you answer if you provide, let's say, 3, it is giving you 2 because the index is 0, 1, 2. Okay, and just let me just delete it. If you want to check what is the index of the index of 1, it is also showing me 2 because now index 1, it is at second position. Okay, so in this video we discussed about list and tuples, and in the next video I'm going to complete all other data structure like sets, dictionary and strings. These are not difficult at all. And yes, before we move out, let me just give you one more example of list, or let me just give you an example. You can have multiple type of data type in a list. For example, you can have 1 comma Gagan comma 8 8.6 a. Now you can see how this can be useful. You can see, like, this can be my roll number, this can be my name, and this can be my percentage. So you can assign like multiple you can have different kind of data types in a list or in a tuple. So this is it, guys, for this video. And if you did like the video, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.